Hello, world. How's everybody doing? Another beautiful day. What? Look, so Microsoft trying to explain the whole backwards compatibility on the Xbox Series X. Got an article on Gamers Rant here talking about Microsoft explain why it is hard to add backwards compatibility to Xbox. And it says you're the director of Xbox Series X director of project management, Jason Reynolds, give fans an insight on why adding more backwards compatible to Xbox is a challenge. And so here it says here at the time of writing 477 games from the Xbox 360 catalog are available for backwards compatibility on Xbox Series X, while the Xbox features even less options with 38 currently available. While this is still very impressive, all things considered, there are plenty of popular games that are missing from the compatibility list. Now Reynolds has opened up and given a few reasons why. Says here, first and foremost, Ronald explained that sometimes making an older game run properly on the Xbox Series X is not technically possible. There are major differences between the original Xbox and the Xbox Series X, thanks to the 19 years between them. So this does make sense. Most fans already knew that this issue existed, as it has been the primary reason why backwards compatibility has been excluded from the console in the past. That said, Ronald goes on to give another reason why fans may not have thought of this before. Look, when it comes to the Xbox backwards compatibility, when Microsoft first came in the game, they started off with Intel. I think it was Intel or Nvidia, but then they went from Intel and then jumped from the original Xbox to the Xbox 360 that was using PowerPC, and then from the Xbox One that was using x86. So between the Xbox 360, Xbox One, the architectures are different. That's why they're having the issue with the backwards compatibility. Now, let's say they were using Intel with a Celeron or a Pentium, and they were using DDR1, DDR2, DDR3, DDR4 RAM, and all their consoles that they ever made, then backwards compatibility wouldn't be a problem. It wouldn't be. But since you started off with the original Xbox and it was Intel, but then you jumped and then went to PowerPC, and then you went back to x86, the architectures are different between the consoles. So that's why you're having the issues with the backwards compatibility. Let's say PlayStation came into the console race, right? Which they did. Let's say they stayed with AMD from the gate all the way up to PlayStation 5, using AMD CPUs and AMD graphics cards. Let's say they were using AMDs and ATI graphics cards, or AMD graphics cards. Let's say PlayStation from the very PlayStation 1 started off with AMD CPU boards and graphics card, right? If they did that from the PlayStation 1 all the way up to PlayStation 5, then backwards compatibility won't be an issue. The problem with backwards compatibility is the console manufacturers, they kept switching the architectures. They kept jumping ship, and not knowing that they were creating a problem when they were jumping ship. Let's say Nintendo stayed with PowerPC since the 8-bit Nintendo. Let's say they stayed with PowerPC all the way up to the Wii U. And let's say they were using CDs. Then backwards compatibility won't be an issue, because they were using the same architecture, they were using the same architecture from the 8-bit Nintendo all the way up. Okay, that's what the issue with the Wii U was. The Wii U was using PowerPC. The Wii and the Wii U was using PowerPC. So was the GameCube. So All they had to do was make the Wii U backwards compatible with GameCube and be done with it. But oh no, it's sales, marketing, commercial failure. That's a bold-faced lie. So when it comes to backwards compatibility, these console manufacturers were jumping ships. Okay, they kept changing the architecture, jumping from one motherboard and CPU manufacturer to the next, and they didn't realize that they were creating a problem when they were doing that. If Microsoft would have stayed consistent with Intel, would stay consistent with Intel, and use their CPUs, motherboards, RAMs, and let's say they were using, say NVIDIA. If they were using NVIDIA from the very beginning, then backwards compatibility won't be an issue. Okay, so the problem with the backwards compatibility for Xbox is that each console architecture is different. Each motherboard that they were using are different. Okay, that's why you can't get all the games to run. You can't get all the games to run. Like on the Xbox Series X, you can get some games, but you can't get all of them. You know, so that's the problem. But anyway, I'm gonna leave a link in the description box for that article. And nice talking to you people again. Chris, still a Star Wars and Star Trek thing. Word dark side. Go. Peace.